you're making history.
UK Prime Minister Kier Starmer is coming to China, the first trip by a UK leader in 8 years. The aim is to improve the relations between the two nations.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First row, please.
Each other up between our two countries. That is why this is the greatest alliance.
He comes in a moment of strained ties with the US, and he is the latest leader of coming in recent days. Earlier this month, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney was here, and the German Chancellor is expected to also come in February. But the UK Prime Minister visit risked a rift with Washington. After Mark Carney was here, President Donald Trump threatened Canada with a 100% tariff in all the Canadian goods. But the UK Prime Minister said that the UK doesn't have to choose between China and the US.
Strong UK-China relationship is important for both of our countries and thank you very much, and thank you to the whole delegation for being here and for your enthusiasm. They say that 8 days is a long time in politics. Try 8 years, because it's 8 years since a British Prime Minister stepped on Chinese soil. And so on this delegation, you're making history. You're part of the change that we're bringing about. And that's consistent with everything that we've done in government, particularly internationally, because we are resolute about being outward-looking, about taking opportunities, building relationships, having confidence globally, and always being absolutely focused on our national interest. And it is in our national interest to engage with China. It's the second biggest economy in the world. If you take Hong Kong alongside China, it's our third biggest trading partner. There are huge opportunities to be had in lots of different sectors. And we see that reflected in the delegation that we've got, because we've got the very best that we're bringing from the United Kingdom in business, in sport, in culture, in art. We've got a fantastic team on this delegation. I'm really pleased to be here. What we're doing here is engaging and building a comprehensive, consistent, stable, strategic approach to China, which is much needed, has huge opportunities. And for me, the most important thing, as ever, is to be absolutely determined that this will deliver back into the United Kingdom. Because everything you're doing here, everything I'm doing here, is focused on how do we benefit people at home in the United Kingdom, where whatever's going on in the world, I'm afraid, their number one concern will be the cost of living. How do they make ends meet? And therefore, in everything we do here in China, it's that we have uppermost in our mind. It's those people that we have in our mind's eye as we make our decisions and take our opportunities. Of course, we will have to manage our differences, but that's what you do with a mature, consistent, comprehensive and strategic approach to China. We manage our differences, we take our opportunities, and we constantly think, how does this deliver for people back at home? So I'm much looking forward to spending time with you, and we've got 2 or 3 days together, so let's make the most of it. Thank you all very much for being here on this historic trip. Thank you.
With the economy very much at the front of his thoughts and the troubled geopolitical landscape at the back of his mind. He's accompanied by a pack of British business leaders as he attempts to seek more access for UK businesses to the vast Chinese market, especially for financial services, luxury cars, and products like Scotch whisky. He also wants to tempt more Chinese investment into the British economy and to strike deals to work with China on important issues such as global health and climate change.
And electricity prices are 64% higher, The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999. Think of that, 1/3. And they're sitting on top of the North Sea, one of the greatest reserves anywhere in the world, but they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally high prices. High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. And you're sitting on top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, you know, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. Environmentally, they don't let them drill. They make it impossible for the oil companies to go. They take 92% of the revenues. So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me. Is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great.
This is a significant trip. It's the first visit by British Prime Minister to China since 2018. And it's an attempt by Starmer to put relations on a more even keel after a decade in which they went from a brief golden era, proclaimed by David Cameron when he was Prime Minister in 2015, to a deep chill as issues such as China's human rights record, its support for Russia in its war in Ukraine, the future of Taiwan, and claims about Chinese espionage in the UK have caused a real rift between the two countries. This is Keir Starmer's first trip to China as Prime Minister, but he's only the latest in a long string of Western leaders who are beating a path to President Xi Jinping's door. Canada's Mark Carney was there earlier this month, and German Chancellor Friedrich Merz will follow next month. Part of the reason is President Donald Trump. The America First U.S. president has concerned longtime U.S. allies with his policies, including his derision for NATO and other long-standing alliances, the tariffs that he has slapped on competitors and allies alike, and recently his stated desire to acquire Greenland. Many leaders are thinking the U.S. is beginning to look like a slightly unreliable ally, and they are turning to other countries where they can for more, perhaps, predictable partners in some aspects. This is a high-stakes visit for Keir Starmer, who wants to put relations with China on a more stable and predictable footing, but also has to navigate some quite difficult political waters at home. He'll be raising some tricky human rights issues with the Chinese leadership, including the imprisonment of Jimmy Lai, a Hong Kong activist who's a British citizen. And while he wants to come back with a big package of investment and a lot of business deals to boost the UK economy, he'll also be wary of letting China into more sensitive corners of the British economy because of concerns about espionage by the Asian superpower.
Despite differences in history, culture, values, ideas, and social systems, the two countries share extensive common interests. China and Britain enjoy vast space for cooperation in trade and investment, clean energy, financial services, medical care, and livelihood.
当前国际形势变乱交织，中英作为联合国安理会常任理事国，保持沟通，加强合作，符合两国人民共同利益，也有利于促进世界和平、稳定与发展。英国工党政府执政以来，明确表示愿同中方发展连贯、持久、战略性的中英关系，积极推动两国对话与合作。中方愿以此访为契机，同英方增进政治互信，深化务实合作，共同开启中英关系健康稳定发展的新篇章，携手为世界和平、安全与稳定做出应有努力与贡献。好。
Good morning.
Good morning.
你好。First row, please.
Each other up between our two countries. That is why this is the greatest alliance.
It's very nice that you're here. These people all came in like